Hello, welcome to yet another exciting episode of Talk to Yaya Season 2. Let me start with this. A drink for a drink will make the entire world happy. And the guests for today had to be good. They had to qualify on three grounds: good looks, good etiquette, and good looks. Hello and welcome to Talk to Yaya Season 2, everybody. And I wave to our guests for today. I have two guests, very interesting guests, good looking guests. And the other is a Luke's consultant. The hotelier has been awarded not once, not twice, but thrice, even four times. And there he is. Hey, Piyush.
Hello.
And the next guest, apart from Piyush, is Abhikam. Now, interesting name and interesting hobby. He's a Luke's consultant, and he has his hobby in watches, pens, and a lot of other things. So let's get started. Hello, Piyush and Abhikam.
Hello.
Hi, Abhi. Hi.
Hi,
Thank
Piyush.
you so much for taking out time, guys. It is so good to have not one but two men.
Well, it's a pleasure to be here.
Absolute pleasure to be here.
So what has happened since the entire season of Talk to Yaya is that most of the men folk, they keep crying and cribbing that we do not cover anything to do with men's styling.
Right.
And today we've got double trouble happening now. We've got two men. We'll start quickly with you, Piyush. Piyush, you come from a hotel background. You're a hotelier. How did you get into it? And what about these awards, man? Aren't you tired of earning all these accolades and awards?
So I was basically a non-medical student who wanted to be a chemical engineer, and here I am, became a chemicals deal. Basically C2H5OH, two of alcohol. And now all the chemicals combine together and make a mocktail and a cocktail. So that's what I'm doing, and
That's
I
amazing.
make people, I make people drunk and get the money from them. Simple as that. That's my hobby and a job
Is it
now.
is it easy to get money before or after they're drunk?
Oh, after they're drunk.
After they're drunk. That's for sure. For sure.
And yeah, I mean, so I was about to become an engineer, and then suddenly I decided that no, I cannot be. It's not my cup of tea slash coffee slash tequila. I need to do something which excites me, which motivates me. So I joined hotel school in Bangalore, and from there I got through Taj Hotels. Then I moved on in my career and moved to Abu Dhabi for a while, and then
Wow,
back to
okay.
Taj and
Okay.
Hyatt. Yeah, uh, the journey has been great. God has been kind,
Awesome.
and
Awesome.
it's a spiritual journey, I would say. Spirits, with a lot of spirits involved.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah.
So yeah, that's
Okay. So for all the followers out here and all the people who are watching, with Piyush, we will cover a very interesting topic. Piyush will try to cover through you the etiquettes, social etiquettes, and hospitality. That is primarily what we're going to cover. And with you, Abhikam. Firstly, Abhikam, lovely name. Who named you? And number two, how is your interest in luxury? I mean, who really motivated you, or what really motivated you into watches and styling and everything?
I think firstly my name, I think I have to give it to my grandparents. You're very creative,
Okay.
and that's how I got this name. And I easily get a hand on making accounts because every year I find the right username just with that name. There's nobody across.
there's nobody
Apart
across.
from
Yeah.
that, what got me into luxury and all these products is that I think my father mainly, he's been my sole inspiration. And as I grew up, I was introduced to a lot of good watch brands, a lot of good cologne brands and clothing brands. Gradually as you grow up, and the son and father relationship, perhaps it led me to follow the whatever he's inspired me to pick up in terms of brands, in terms of products, basically the niche sector, actually, I would say that.
Beautiful. Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, now that brings us to the most interesting part of our segment, which I'm sure everybody's waiting. Piyush, the first question for you. I would love to know, if we are hosting a party at home, what are the basic do's and don'ts of, social etiquettes of hosting a party at home? Very basic.
So the first thing which you like to do when you host a party at home, firstly, it's basically a closed group which you're calling. If you're calling someone home, that means they're very special to you. That means they are, they have certain kind of value in your life, because that's why you're calling them home. Home is a place which is your personal space. You're telling them to come to your personal space. So the first and the foremost thing which you want to do is you should have their preferences. I mean, of course, know your friends, and at any given point, you should know that whether they would like to have non-vegetarian, whether they like to have vegetarian, whether they like a particular kind of beverage or no. The second one thing is unanimity in terms of the music. Now, you really need to understand the fact that your music may not be liked by them. So you need to play something like, for example, whenever I have a house party at my house, I love to play old Bollywood retro music. But over the time, I've realized that my music choice sucks in front of them. They would want more of R&B, pop, and all that jazz. But I personally like Kishore Kumar and Mohammed Rafi. But it should not be the case that they should like the same thing. Probably when they're drunk, they like it. But then initially, you need to put some music which is a common kind of house, deep house, or maybe you can put some light retro English. That is the safe game. I mean, whenever you have ABBA and Bon Jovi playing, it's kind of soothing and it sets the atmosphere in. The third thing would you like to do is always keep your beverages. For example, if you're serving a vodka, it should be in a refrigerator. It should be chilled, served chilled. You should have good quality ice with you. Then beer should be at an ambient temperature. If you're serving wine, it should be in an ambient temperature. If you're drinking a whiskey in the bar, it should have a whiskey. You should have a rocks glass or a whiskey cube.
Okay.
That's very important, because the perfect styling in terms of drinks is very important. Now, if you don't want to switch to you don't want to have the regular traditional glasses, you can just switch to the disposable glasses. That's also doesn't make a difference. But just to get the set mood in, you can have those kind of glasses. The fourth thing is with the food. As I told that preferences of veg knowledge is very important. The correct type of what the correct type of exact food to be served in what container. It should not be like saucy fish should not be served in a flat plate. Pasta should be served in a kind of a bowl which easy to scoop in. So all that, and of course there has to be desserts. When I'm coming to your house, please make sure that there's some desserts with me. A lot of times what I have observed is that very less selection of veg, non-veg, very less. Probably there are no desserts at times whenever I have been to someone's house. So it becomes a kind of awkward situation. You're finishing the meal, you have to have some dessert, maybe a shot of a nice liqueur, or maybe a pastry or whatever to end the meal. So that's kind of some important facts when you're hosting a party.
Awesome. Okay. Points noted, sir, and points noted if we are inviting you. Over to Abhikam. Abhikam, the same party, everything the same setup. Now, for something like this, what are your styling tips? How would you dress up when you are hosting a party? Let us know the watches and the cologne also.
Okay. So if I'm dressing up for a party, I think I'd go in for a printed shirt, perhaps, which would be something like this, which is slightly fancy. And I would try to pair it with a black sweater, perhaps, a black pullover, just to tone down the print a little. And the whole idea is that it has to be a unique outfit, because everybody out there is going to be dressed very formally. And that formal touch, my sweater is going to give to the printed shirt. It could be paired with a trouser or maybe a chino, for that matter. And for watch, I think I'd prefer maybe the Constellation, because this is a watch which goes pretty well with an evening outfit, and it is a perfect balance between, luxury and, a good evening setting, perhaps. Colognes could be anything.
Abhikam, can you show the dial of the Constellation once again? It looks very interesting.
Sure. So it's got rose gold indices, as you can see.
Absolutely.
It's a watch otherwise. and the dial has a lot of character to it. You know, if you look closely, then you get lost in it. I mean, happens with me till
Yeah.
date. I've been owning it for 2 years, and when I look at its dial, I'm lost.
Yeah, I'm
So
sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's one thing with with watches and dials, that it can just drive you mad once in a while. So as I was saying, for perfumes, you could pair something between something like a Dior Sport or maybe a
Okay.
Prada Carbon,
Okay.
anything smooth and
Uh-huh.
subtle for the evening,
Right. Right.
right?
Piyush, we do see you wearing a watch as well. Tell us about your watch before we hop on to the next question.
Oh, I'm also a watch fanatic, so I'm very happy to meet Abhikam, and probably we connect with him. So I'm wearing a Fossil. This is the automatic collection, which is I got it from Abu Dhabi, gifted to
Uh-huh.
myself on my 50th birthday.
Okay.
I think that's
So
got an open dial, as I can see.
uh, that
Open
has
heart.
got an
Yeah, yeah, that's an open heart, right? Right. Of course, it sits well with your hospitality, because you need to have an open and a big heart to be into hospitality sector.
open.
That's how
Yeah.
your watch
Very
company is.
true.
Absolutely true.
Right.
Especially if you're letting your bar open to guests, you
True.
require a big heart. Okay, ask me. Okay, and hop on to the next question, Piyush. This one's for you. Mm, okay, this is an interesting one, Piyush. And it happens a lot, many times. I am sitting, and I have guests sitting on my. I mean, I have people sitting on my right and on my left, and I have a dish in my hand. Now, do I once I take the snack, where do I pass it on? Do I pass it to the person to the left or the right? And any other etiquettes in while serving that you want to share?
So, say for example, you have you have your friends coming in, and there are some ladies and maybe some kids, or maybe some elder people, like their parents coming in. So you'll always serve to the kids first,
Okay, okay,
elders later on, and then a lady, and then a gent.
okay. All right.
Now, if there's a mixed crowd of your age group only, you would go clockwise.
All right.
It's
All right.
easy. It's very easy to do clockwise, and there's no confusion. If it's a square table, then also clockwise. If it's a round table, then also clockwise.
Okay.
That
Okay.
to maintain uniformity, you can do that.
Okay. So that's an interesting point. All right. So it is always clockwise. All right. Perfect. Um, Now that brings us to one more question, Piyush. You did mention that you serve to the kid first, and then the lady, and then the other people. If we're going that way. So my question that brings me to the question is any social etiquettes, do they differ, or any hospitality, does that really differ gender-wise?
Not really.
Okay.
I mean, if the lady is sitting or the gent is sitting, they should. The etiquettes for them would be the similar kind of thing, because they're all are eating the food.
Okay.
However, hold the glass, maybe that's a very common thing, a common mistake. What every one of us does while holding a wine glass is that I'll show it to you. So we
Okay.
have a wine glass here, and normally people drink wine like this. They
Yes.
hold wine like this,
Yes.
or they hold like this. The ideal way to hold a wine glass on all the evenings would be from the stem, or maybe
Oh.
from the bottom.
Okay.
So it's
Okay.
easy. You don't transfer your body heat to the glass. The wine is
Okay.
not getting spoiled.
Right.
It's good. So, or you can hold it from here,
Okay.
just from here.
Okay.
So either way,
Okay.
whichever is comfortable, you can do that. So normal common mistakes, what every gender does is like holding from here. So that can be avoided.
Wow. Okay. Okay. That's very interesting. Yeah. Abhikam brings us to the question. What if you're heading to a party, which is a wine party or a mimosa party, something like that, an afternoon party preferably. So what are your styling tips for men?
I think for something like that, I'd go for a double cuff shirt, because it's going to be a close contact that I'm going to be having with people. I'm going to be raising a glass, and people are definitely going to observe my cuffs. So I'm going to make sure that, I wear a double cuff shirt, and I pair it with a very interesting pair of cufflinks. And it's got a touch of this thing to it. So that's got a Versace logo in it. I don't know if it's visible. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And it
Okay.
sits very well with a dark color, because the whole purpose of wearing a cuff on a shirt is that the cuff should stand out.
Yes.
Yeah, and of course, when you raise the glass, as I said, the new people are going to observe what you're wearing. I'm going to be pairing
Yeah.
it with the trouser, and then of
Okay.
course I have a very interesting jacket that I'm going to be putting
Okay.
on.
Wow,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's so nice.
Yeah.
So that's a linen jacket, and it's inspired from a hunting jacket. But I'm going to pull it off for an afternoon party, maybe because the little touch of sky blue would look pretty good over
Yes,
there,
absolutely. And
right?
Abhikam,
And
can you show that jacket a little closer to the camera, because I did realize it has very interesting stitch to it.
that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
have pattern to it.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's got non-functional cuffs though,
Uh-huh.
and a lot of detailing inside.
Yes.
But it's going to look excellent with the dark color, as I mentioned.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right. And a watch with it, I think I'm going to be going with this. That is a Seiko Kinetic. And it's got an open back, a pretty good watch. And it's got a very
Yes.
interesting dial too. You know, it's got a wide
Yeah.
dial with again rose gold indices.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And a slight complication out there. I wouldn't call it a
Uh-huh.
complication. I would just call it, just a feature on the dial. So
Yes.
why
Hmm.
rose gold indices with that? And this is because we all know that rose gold is a very trending thing these days. The rose gold color. And if it sits well with the white dial, it
Yes.
stands out. It definitely
Yes.
stands out. And then for a perfume, maybe I'll go for the Orange Affair by Carolina Herrera. And it's got a very misty smell to it. So I think it'll all go well with the kind of an outfit and the kind of an occasion that you are. But since I wear spectacles, I have to
Yes.
keep switching between, different spectacles. So I think I'd
Okay.
go for maybe something like this. Something that is ringless, perhaps.
Oh, okay, 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 okay. All right.
Yeah, right.
Okay, yeah, so specs was interesting twist. I like it because, many a time we just don't give it that much of importance, but apparently, yeah.
I have
Piyush, you
I have no
always,
choice. I can't wear contacts.
okay, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Piyush, most of the time you're working and your working hours require you to be dressed formally, like your coats, blazers, your ties, it's always that. And while we were discussing just before this, you just did mention that every time you are gifted a tie, it's tie or cufflinks that happen.
Yeah.
So, brings me to a question. You were going to visit somebody. What are the kind of ideal gifts to gift to somebody when you're visiting someone?
Well, if I'm visiting my fraternity people, I would still give them a tie. A
Okay.
tie for a tie, makes the whole world dressed.
Okay.
Make sure you don't give somebody a tie that somebody gave you. You don't
Oh,
give it
no,
back.
no, I
Yeah.
really take care of that. Or maybe
Then
I
you're not dressed.
like this, quirky cufflinks, which I just recently have, kind of collected. So one of those like this.
Oh, that's a
Oh,
roller
oh yeah,
skate.
okay.
Yeah.
That's
I
very
know
cute.
someone who, yeah, I know someone who does that. So, that also is a very nice gift to give someone those quirky, cufflinks. And of course,
Uh-huh.
a good bottle of wine always is welcomed.
Always.
For me,
Always.
yeah, but good whiskey for sure, or maybe a wine if you're coming in. But
Yes.
of course, alcohol is the best gift you can give it to a man or a woman.
I have a
Yes.
question, Piyush. So, like a wine bottle as a gift, you cannot ever go wrong with it, right? Like it fits
Not
well
really.
with any, right? It fits well with any formal occasion or something, right?
So if you're celebrating something like an anniversary or maybe a big occasion, then a bottle of sparkling wine is most welcome,
True.
or maybe a champagne. But if you're going and just for a casual dinner or maybe meeting up after a long time, a bottle of nice red wine always is recommended.
Right.
Perfect. Understood.
Of
Noted.
course.
Noted. Abhikam, there is a question from Adil. The question is, if there are two watches with one with a black dial and the other with a white dial, how do we choose which one to wear? And how do we choose, and is there any logic behind it?
So, as I mentioned, the white dial is something that is easier to pull off with more outfits because it's got a white dial, and white is a color that is neutral comparatively.
Okay. Hmm.
And most importantly, with the black dial, what happens? It's more of an evening wear, you know.
Okay.
It's something
Okay.
that you should pull off in evenings with maybe a dinner jacket or something because the dark are one family, you know. A dinner jacket, which is obviously black, it's got a more soft touch to it.
Right.
So black dial looks good that way. And a white dial is something that you can maybe wear in the evening also and in the day also. It's
Right.
more versatile, I would say, white dial, which is why
Right.
most of the watches that I have are towards the white dial sector,
Towards the
I
white.
would say. Yeah. It's always easier. It's safe, I would say.
So,
Noted.
I have a
Okay.
question for you.
Yeah.
Uh, when I'm wearing a suit, is it always recommended to have a watch with a strap instead of the you know the normal chain strap, or is it always good to have a leather strap?
See, in that case, it definitely depends on what is the width of your cuff. If you're wearing a double cuff, you should have enough room out here, you know, to pair a strap. And if
All
it's a
right.
bracelet, of course, it's gonna snug in. So it
Yeah.
entirely
Yeah.
depends on how your shirt is tailored and you know what kind of shirt are you
Okay.
wearing.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, because ideally when you wear suits, Piyush, I'm sure that you know they have just the right length of their sleeve. So it
True.
should end here, so that you have a little, you have the shirt, you know,
Yeah.
sticking out
Yeah.
a
So
little.
like, yeah.
Exactly,
I
exactly, just like it. So you know, in that case, your cuff are one details, and your watch has to stand outside the cuff, just a little outside. So yeah, it entirely depends up to you. But a
all right.
leather looks definitely more elegant. A leather watch looks more elegant. I'm sure Yagika will agree.
No, I don't. I prefer
No?
metallic band any given day.
Right. But she's wearing an Apple Watch, so we cannot really comment.
But I changed it. From
True,
that
true.
also. Yeah, I just changed. I
Okay.
don't. I cannot stand anything which is. It has to be metallic. I don't know why. It just looks
Right,
too looks
right.
nice. I mean.
Also, for an example for you, I've seen people pairing the Apple Watch on a leather strap. You know, for any formal occasion with a suit and all, I've seen people doing it, and they pull it off pretty well. So you know that way,
Yeah.
I would
I've
sit
seen
for
that. I've
the
seen that. Yeah.
leather.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I've seen the same thing. I mean, leather strap with
Yeah.
a smartwatch with a leather strap. So I have
Okay.
that one of the Fossil GS
Fossil
500
ones, yeah.
530. Yeah. So
Exactly.
this is pretty
Exactly.
nice and cool to have it.
Right.
I've done it
Right.
in a dial which is the Omega Seamaster dial. I've
Right.
downloaded it, so that looks pretty nice. Yeah.
But yeah, your strap requires maintenance comparatively, I would say. When you wear
True.
a
True.
leather strap, you got to take care. Yeah. Because it's not
Absolutely.
resistant to water. It's not, you know, if you're moving around, it looks beautiful, that's there, but you have to be careful because it's got
Agreed.
a
Yeah.
lining
Yeah.
that, you know, you need to
Yeah.
take care of it.
All right. Okay. Coming to the next question now. Piyush, this one you have to tell us. Okay. Um,
What?
Firstly, what are the differences between a welcome drink, a drink, let's say, which is more of an aperitif, or something which goes with the food? How do we pick one, and any logic behind it?
When you're doing it party at home, you're asking, or you're going out?
So, in fact, Piyush, let us know the difference between the two. But yeah, my question did come at home, but I would love to know the
At home.
difference if I'm dining
So
out as well.
anywhere we're going or going out or planning a drink, planning an evening somewhere, maybe in a restaurant or at home, I would instruct that to everyone to have a welcome drink which is made out of sparkling wine or has something sparkle to it. To start the evening, you should have some sparkles into your drink. And
Hmm.
sparkling wine mixes well with the juices, mixes well with the
Yes.
spirits. So to
Yes.
start the evening, I would say that you make a sparkling, maybe mimosa, maybe Bellini,
Yes.
champagne, some orange juice, just to start with the
Yes.
evening. And if
Right.
it's kind of non-alcoholic evening, then you can do maybe an orange juice with some soda, top it up with grenadine syrup.
Right. Right.
That kind of sets the evening in, sets the mood in.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Then later on, I mean, it doesn't even mixes with your alcohol. So maybe you can start the drink with the sparkling wine, end the drink with sparkling wine, and in between you can have whatever liquid you want to have. Maybe vodka, whiskey, rum. It never
Oh, so
mixes.
so so does that mean that it is okay to be mixing then a welcome drink and a dessert drink?
Yeah,
From a wine
yeah,
to a vodka? Oh, okay.
absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely.
All right. Okay. That's an interesting point because all throughout my life, I've always learned that, do not mix the different types of alcohol.
It doesn't make a difference. See, there is an alcohol, there's a cocktail, very famous cocktail named as the Long Island Iced Tea. It
Yes.
is a combination of 5 spirits. So
Yes.
in case that phraseology, that fact was wrong, there wouldn't be any drink like that. And
Yeah.
cocktails
True
is
that.
all about mixing different types of alcohol.
True
So
that.
it's all in the mind. It's
Okay.
from here on, 18 December, 12:33 p.m. Please remember that you can mix as much alcohol you want to mix. It is all in your mind. If you want to get drunk, you'll get drunk.
I've
So
As
seen
long as
people,
you can handle it and behave yourself.
yeah,
yeah, absolutely.
I've seen people partying like crazy. So they have a big container in which they pour everything that they can find,
Yes.
vodka and
Yes.
rum and everything.
Yeah, I
Oh,
am
That,
one of them.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
In fact,
But
right after this,
I've
I
always
am.
seen it because I don't consume alcohol. So yeah,
oh, you're high on watches. We're
I'm high
watching
on
you.
watches, definitely. High on watches, for sure.
Nice.
Okay. Now, for somebody like you, Abhikam, who does not drink, and you go to a party, it's like a frat party, where everybody's getting drunk. What would you wear? How would you make yourself stand out?
How would I stand out for something like that? Okay. So for something like that, I think I'll go in with a shirt, maybe. Just a shirt,
Okay.
a plain shirt, and I'm going to be pairing it with a trouser, perhaps. And the whole idea is I need to look sober, I need to look like a person I don't drink. It should come out from a distance, perhaps. But so
I'll
Okay.
that
just
I don't look
drop
like a
you a
misfit out
note.
there, my shirt's got a little detailing, as you can see.
Yes.
The picture.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm not going to be
Okay.
tucking it inside. I'm going to be
Okay.
having it, I'm going to be just having it in place. And I
Okay.
have a very interesting thing which I got done to it. So it's
Okay.
got a great alternative to a double cuff or a French cuff, maybe. I have
Okay.
these.
Okay. Okay.
I'll show it here close.
Yeah. Yeah. That is
These are the
interesting.
cuffs. That is called a cocktail cuff. For a guy who
Cocktail
doesn't
cup.
drink, I have some element of alcohol in my outfit. Yeah. And
Very
this is
smart.
inspired. So this is a shirt from Turnbull and Astor. It was featured in Doctor No, 1962, the first James Bond movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. I
Wow.
mean,
That,
if you
that is
watch
like
the Bond
awesome.
movies again, you'll find this. If you just look at his cuffs, you'll find it right there.
Okay. I'm
And
gonna
that guy
watch
drinks
it.
a lot, and I don't. So
Yeah.
just
Okay.
about it.
Abhikam, now, interestingly, this is the holiday season and a lot of people are getting married as well. So, do you have a signature look for Indian parties? And just let us know 2, 3 looks, something which is for a wedding, maybe mehendi or sangeeta, So, if you could just show us 2, 3 looks.
Okay. So for maybe something like a wedding, first of all, when you dress up formally, like for an Indian wedding or any Indian festive thing, you need to make sure that first of all you need to find out what kind of person are you. If you're a fan of maybe loud outfits, you're a fan of subtle outfits. For me, I prefer something in between. Like I don't go for very loud outfits. I go for something just in between. So for a festive season, maybe I have a very interesting kurta that I have out here. So it's got an excellent detailing to it.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And it's got these standard cuffs, Instead of a sleeve, it's got these cuffs, proper cuffs. So, the fit comes out pretty good. So for a festive season, I'd rather wear something like this. And to pair it with, I have these.
Okay. Yeah. That's
Yeah.
nice.
So now, good thing about this color, it's a burgundy color. So,
Yes.
it is just the perfect fit between a black and a brown.
Yes.
Because, with black and brown, first of all, they are a little mainstream. And if you want to stand
Right.
out with something, burgundy is just your color. You know,
Right.
it fits well. Yeah. That's for a festive season. But
Yes.
for a wedding, I think I would pull off a bandgala. So this is something I picked up from Kanali a while back. And if you look at the colors, if you look at the buttons, I'm sorry, they've got a vintage touch to them.
Oh yeah. Oh yes.
All of
Yeah,
them.
this is,
Yeah.
So
Very
this maybe
royal
with the
looking.
Chinese collar. Yeah, this maybe with the Chinese collar shirt.
Uh-huh.
And I'm a fan of blues, by the way. So as you can see, we both are pretty happy with each other right now as I pose. Yeah. So that's something I'm gonna be wearing. But for a wedding or something like that, I think your specs have to be different. So I have this frame which has got a touch of gold to it, a touch
Uh-huh.
of yellow gold to it. It's got a vintage. It's a vintage frame, by the way. I inherited this from my great grandfather, and I have got it polished, and I wear it on an everyday basis. So this is something that is a perfect blend between, I can wear it on a wedding, I can wear it on a festive season because it has to be, qualifying for the Indian formal setup.
Right.
And when it comes to the perfume, I think I'll choose something like maybe a Dandel,
Okay.
as you can see.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
the color signifies, and I'll tell you, the color is more towards the sandalwood. It's
Mm-hmm.
it's got a sandalwood scent to it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think I'll pull off this for something like a wedding or maybe a festive thing.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Absolutely.
watch. Watch is the most important thing I need to show. I'll
Yes.
pull off something like this. Again, a burgundy setting,
Yeah.
as you can see,
Yeah.
and a full yellow gold watch with a lot of
oh
Wow.
wow.
work in it. The dial. So it's got
Yeah.
What
these
does the dial
diamonds
have?
on the bezel. Sorry.
The dial has what? Like what
So the
engraved
dial
into it?
has jali work. It's an Indian manufacture first.
Wow,
Second,
that's so
it's got a
nice.
lot of jali work to it. And Modi scripts, you know, different transcripts, Modi scripts mainly. And it's got
Lovely.
diamonds on the bezel. And the best part is this burgundy color. So this would go with my footwear and
Footwear,
also
yeah.
the
Yes. Yes.
yeah.
Amazing. Looks amazing.
Very
Yeah.
nice. I have an Apple Watch here which tells me I've burnt a couple of calories.
Talking to us, talking to us.
It just tells me that I burned a lot of calories. That's it. Nothing else.
Okay, right.
Okay. Piyush, one question, which is not
Yes.
part of any festival thing, but just a question directly to you. When we are setting up a table, what fork and knife do we start first with? The ones which are nearest to the plate or the ones which are farthest to the plate?
I'm sorry. I think there's some error with the connection. Can you please repeat the question?
Sure, I'll just do that. When we're setting up the dining table, which fork and knife or which cutlery do we start with? The one which is nearest to the plate or the one which is farthest to the plate?
So, for example, you're setting up. You're having. Let's start from an Indian meal. You're having a soup. You're having maybe a Indian starter chicken tikka. Then you have a salad, maybe a Greek salad, and then you have a main course. For example, Rogan Josh and butter chicken and some naan, and then desserts. So
I'm
first,
drooling
when you
already.
start, sorry.
I have drools already.
Yeah, me too.
So, as I said that we have a soup first, so the soup will come on the right hand side. So that
Okay.
the soup spoon will come on the right hand side, followed by
Okay.
a fork and knife for the chicken tikka,
Okay.
followed by a fork and knife, a large fork and a large knife for your butter chicken with a spoon.
Okay.
Just to saw through the chicken or bone, you have a spoon to scoop up the curry. So it basically you start from the farthest of the plate and come closer
Farthest.
when you're ending the meal.
All right. Understood. Understood. And generally, then the dessert spoon would come in the end with the dessert only. Is that so?
The desserts normally will come on top of the plate.
On top of the plate. Okay.
On top of the plate, with the spoon pointing towards the right and the fork
Okay.
pointing towards the left. If there is a required, the fork is required. Otherwise, just a spoon on the top.
All right. All right. Piyush, there's also a show plate and then a plate on top. So what is that kind of a setup? There's a
So
charger and there's
that is a
something
very
else.
that's very exclusive kind of a specialty. A dining setup. Maybe you're going out to a very fancy restaurant. Normally
Okay.
nowadays the restaurants they have it. They have this concept of having a show plate. It just sets the
Yes.
mood for the restaurant, and then on top
Right.
of the show plate you have plates coming in for the
Right.
starters. And then both of the starters and the show plate gets removed for the main course, plates and everything. So that show plate is basically just to set the mood in. It doesn't play any much role. It's as the word says, show plate is a show plate.
Is a show
You
plate.
don't normally eat in that.
Right. Right. Okay. All right. Oh, Abhigam will come to you now. My
Yeah.
question to you is, what is one attire that you are so proud of owning? And one perfume and one watch that you're so proud of owning and you would love to show it to us? That's it. That's the question.
One outfit. Okay. So recently, so I'll start with the outfit first. So recently, I got this suit from Made to Measure, and the color is pretty unique. And I'll show you the inside lining first. So that is the inside lining, and
Okay.
it's got my initials also in it. Apart
Oh
from
wow!
that, it's got it's got these functional cuffs. So like I mentioned, that detailing really stands out. If you have detailing in any outfit for that matter, could be a
Right.
print, could be a shirt, could be a trouser. It has to be
Right.
something which you should be proud of. Like I am proud of this. Even if you pick up something, and price doesn't matter. The most important thing. Of course, it's a niche sector, so you don't think before you buy. If you like something, I think you should just pick it up. It should
Yes.
be like that. So like I
Yes.
got this suit for myself. The outfit could be this, and a shirt perhaps could be something like this.
Yeah. Can you
So
bring
now
that
look
nearer to the
at the
camera?
shirt.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's very
Look at this
very nice.
shirt. It's a shirt that is very good for a casual outfit. Like even if I take off my jacket, if I just pair it with the same suit with the trouser, the shirt's
True.
gonna look good.
True.
And for the cuffs again, it's got these double button cuffs. So
Yeah.
something that is different and it's also fitting well with whatever my outfit is. For the watch, I think I'll choose something like what I'm definitely very proud of. I'll go for the Rolex. And
Can you bring
the
it closer, please?
best part about this dial is it is purple right now. Then it is blue sometimes. It keeps playing around. And
Right.
if I'm not happy with what this dial is, I can always reverse it and have a white dial to it.
Wow.
Ah,
Okay.
So that's magic happening on with one watch.
Right.
what watch is that? You didn't get the
That
hand.
is the Reverso by Julie Booth,
Oh wow!
JLC. Yeah. So they have this
Adil has
Reverso,
already answered there in comments.
right? Okay, couple of my all about Horology followers know that I'm very proud of this watch for some reason. So like I talked about the white dial, it's got a white dial element to it, and of course, if you flip it around like that, that's a good, it's got a lot of play movement happening inside of it. It's purple, it's blue, like that.
Nice.
And with this outfit, I think I'll
Impressive.
pull off the long strap shoe.
Yeah.
That is just perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. There is one question, Piyush. I don't know if I should ask you or not, but I'm going to ask you.
Please do.
Your choice, you want to answer that or not? This question is from Jay Jerry. His question is, Piyush, how many drinks you had last night?
Oh, if you can count how many drinks you had last night, that means someone is really something is really terribly wrong with the drinks. So I don't remember how many I had.
Awesome. Oh yeah. One question is from Adil. I do not know if this question will be able to answer. Maybe Abhikam, you can. The question is there any logic for wearing watch on left hand or right hand?
So it depends because the universal this thing says that you should wear it on your hand that is less dominant. So if I'm a right-hander, because obviously with my right hand I'm going to be writing with it, I'm going to be resting it on a table for anything for that matter. So this part where I'm resting it with, it should be free. It should not have anything out here. Even though some people like to wear accessories, that is another thing. But since I'm a right-hander, I wear it on my less dominant hand, that is the left.
Got it.
But some people do it otherwise, so it's completely your choice. Some people ideally wear it on the left and also wear it on the right. So, up to them. Completely up to them.
Okay.
I have a question for Abhikam.
Yeah.
Sorry. Is that a Frank Muller you're wearing, or what is it?
So I'm wearing a vintage watch that was passed on to me that was gifted to me by a collector. Let me show it to you. So it's Favre Luba, one of the oldest watchmakers out there.
Oh, that's a pretty watch. Nice
That's
watch.
a pretty watch.
And why I'm wearing a green is because I'm somewhere in the green family today. So I just try to play around.
Have you changed the strap or what?
No. That's how I got it. So like when I was gifted by a collector, so that's how he gave it to me, and I haven't changed it ever since.
Excellent.
Because I feel if it's a car or it's anything for that matter, the original look is the best. Don't experiment with it.
Absolutely.
Retain the originality and the ingenuity of the product. I feel.
Great.
Okay, so we're coming to the end of this, almost the end of our session, and it is going extremely well. I don't want to end, it's just perfect. But we have to. So, Abhikam, I'll quickly ask this question to you before I hop on to Piyush. My first question is, if you're going for a polo match, is there a go-to perfume of yours or a go-to watch of yours?
So I think for a polo match, again, this watch, the Reverso. And why? Yeah, why is it? Because this is a watch inspired by the game of polo.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And I'll just quickly walk you through. So this watch comes with a single face. Ideally, it's a mono face. Now, of course, the company has started making duo faces like you saw. Right. But originally, it was made keeping in mind the game of polo. So people could wear it and flip the case over with the metallic plate on one side.
Understood.
So the ball hits your watch,
Right.
The case.
Right.
Yeah.
Understood. Yeah, makes sense. Okay.
And for perfumes, I'd go for something like maybe a polo match for that matter. I'd go with either the 1 million or maybe the Hermes. I can't go wrong with these perfumes for a polo match because I'm going to be meeting people in close vicinity as well as, I'm just going to be saying hello to a lot of people from a distance. Yeah. That's something that I'll prefer for a polo match.
Piyush, you do a lot of events as well. So what is your special look or perfume or anything which is very special for an event?
So special for event, particularly I wear a Mobla Legend. I love that perfume.
Okay.
For, whenever I have a very VIP kind of setting there.
Yeah.
So that's my go-to perfume.
I actually gifted that to my ex-boss. So yeah, it does have that.
I find the emblem also very interesting. The bottle of the emblem.
True, absolutely.
I love that brand.
Logo, it's really nice.
I just love the brand.
Piyush, is it possible? I do not know if you have anything handy or not. Do you have anything which is like any cutlery around you which is interesting and you like the way you showed us about that wine glass? So anything else that you can make us learn some handy tips?
The cutlery, the special cutlery, we stopped using it because of the fact that now nobody, they just want to be simple. Hospitality is now very simple. So all these unique, blingy things are out of fashion now.
Okay.
But I can tell maybe the viewers, I'll probably tell them how to and how much to pour a sparkling wine whenever you're giving wine to.
That is
So
very important.
imagining the can is a nice bottle of a vintage champagne, which is not, because however the color is still of a sparkling wine, you would not
Yeah.
go above this.
Okay.
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 You know, just till the middle of the glass.
Right.
You wouldn't want to go atop because sparkling wine or a champagne is to be served chilled.
Yes.
And when you have a short pour, you can easily finish that chilled and without getting it heated or maybe without getting
Right.
it warm.
Understood.
So that's kind of an ideal pour for a sparkling wine.
Understood. Okay. Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Let's assume this is
Cheers.
sparkling wine.
Actually, I have water though.
Oh,
Cheers.
lovely. What are
Yeah.
you drinking? Yeah.
I'm drinking kombucha.
Oh, lovely.
Oh.
Great.
I've got
So
to try that.
all three of us are sober right now. So the viewers
Yeah.
are, it's good for them.
It's
I know,
good.
good for that. Right.
One more thing, yeah.
Hi,
That
Keshav.
glass,
Hi.
Piyush, that glass that you were holding. Could you show us again how would you be holding that glass?
Oh, so yeah, you can either hold it like from the bottom of the glass, or
Bottom
maybe
stem.
from the stem, maybe from
Okay.
the right beneath the bottom.
Right.
You
Okay.
see, champagne has to be served chilled. Your body heat will ruin the
Yes.
temperature of the champagne if you hold like this or like this.
True that.
So
Okay.
it's better you kind of do it here.
Awesome. Okay. All right. Okay. The very last question, Abhikam, as we are coming to the end of it. And with this,
Right.
we truly come to the end of it. Give me a second. I'm just
Okay.
referring to the notes here.
Okay.
In the
Okay.
meantime, I shall sip some fake champagne.
Yeah. I think
Piyush,
it'll
we
go
really
well with
want
what
to
we are
know.
doing.
Piyush, we really want to know about holding the tea cup as well, in case you have any. That will be like perfect for our understanding. Abhikam, to you, very last question. I also know that you are into pens, writing instruments.
Right.
Can you just show us your collection?
Okay. So, good question. So one of my latest picks is I am a big fan of the Beatles. So
Beatles.
yeah. So that is one of my latest picks.
Wow.
Oh, lovely.
And a lot of people confuse it. Like a lot of people think that it's got a Paul Smith touch to it,
It
but that's
has,
not
yeah.
true. But that's not true, because these things that you see on the these are the mustaches of the all four icons: David Lennon and Paul McCartney and all that. And this is the I don't know what to call it, but your volume controller, the one which you toggle for the volume. As you can see, it's got a lot
Wow.
of detail into it. And of course, a huge logo. Yeah. So Mobla. And then I have a standard Mobla that is called the Star Walker collection.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's got a floating, Mobla
Yeah.
emblem in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And of course, it's a fine liner. So, you cannot go wrong with it. I even use it for doodling though, and it works very good. Like a lot of people think that, these pens you can only write with it, but if you have a fine liner, you can actually, it's so smooth, you can actually doodle with it. I mean,
Wow.
people out here in this session should definitely give it a shot. Then I have a vintage pen, which I inherited from my grandfather. So that's a pretty old pen. And the box and the condition will tell you that it's a pretty old, it's a rose gold pen. And of course, I haven't used it in a while, but yeah, it is amazing.
Gorgeous.
Then I have the lapis bar, again, rose gold. So good thing with rose gold, as I said, is that, even if you're wearing it casually or formally, you can't go wrong with the color. The color has an element to it, the rose gold. Then,
By the way, the ones who don't know, I was heading marketing for William Penn and for Lapis Bar.
lapis bar. See. Yaya is supposed to give me another lapis, but we'll do it in the other session.
Okay.
Yeah?
Done. I'll give one to both of you.
Please do.
Perfect, perfect.
I was about to say.
And then I have the yellow gold pen, something that I could utilize for weddings and, otherwise it's a full yellow gold pen. And a yellow gold pen, we all know the significance of yellow gold in India.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Then this is a collectible that I picked up. I traveled to Switzerland back in the day, and I picked this up from Swarovski. It got crystals inside of it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I really
Is that
liked
the
it.
pen they use it for Swiss bank accounts to sign the accounts for Swiss bank? Maybe
Yeah, I
that's the
use it
pen
for
they
my
use.
offshore accounts. I might as well not disclose out here on this session. But as soon as I go, it works as a signature for me. They recognize me. Okay, yeah, this guy has some offshore accounts. You're supposed to treat them right. Yeah,
Great.
that's a part of it. That's a part of it.
Beautiful. Thanks a lot, Abhikam. Piyush, over to you, sir. Teach us the tea etiquettes and muffins and what goes around and how do we hold it.
So whenever you put a teacup on the table, I'll just show it to you. Maybe I'll just switch my camera to the other side. So whenever you're giving, kind of serving tea to someone, make sure that the handle of the cup as well as the teaspoon which you're giving to mix the soup should be on the right hand side. If I'm having like this, the teaspoon should not be here, should not be here, should not be here. Why it has to be here is because you're picking the tea from here, you're mixing the sugar, and then it's easy for you the distance is very nearby from here.
Right.
You don't have to go. So that's something which, is a very basic etiquette by serving tea.
Right, understood. And any particular way of picking it up? Like what I know is that this finger should not be touching and should be like this.
That really depends on how comfortable are you holding the cup. Maybe you can hold it like this also, but then as a matter of fact, the tea will get cold because of your thing. Or maybe it's very hot for you. You can just hold it like this. There's no science to it.
Okay.
Right.
If you're holding it also, the cup should be, the cup should be fine ceramic. Only then you can hold like this. Otherwise, normally the cups are fine, a mix of bone china and ceramic, so they're quite heavy. So you need to hold, you need to put your finger in to get the extra grip. Otherwise, you'll fumble it.
Yeah.
I have a question for you. So, if I'm going on a date with a girl, and I'm of course looking forward to impress her, what are the etiquettes that I should keep at the back of my head that I don't go wrong with it?
You should always, pull the chair for the lady first, and that's a matter of fact which goes in. It's kind of an old etiquette which has been there from ages. And whenever you are eating, you should keep one hand free. If you're eating with a fork and knife, that's okay. But otherwise, one hand free. In case the lady wants some assistance from you, maybe to pass on the curries or maybe salt or maybe curd set or something like that. And you should not keep both your elbows on the table.
Somebody is written depends on the girl.
Yeah, that's my husband.
Okay.
So all these very basic etiquettes which do not, if you're going for a food, if you're going for a meal, like in which both of you want to have a food, a nice meal, and you are both of the foodies, probably you should not wear a very strong smell. That overpowers the whole, the ambience or the overpowers the whole setup of that evening or maybe lunch.
Right.
That's very important.
I think I'll wear a Bottega Veneta maybe. It's got a touch of rose to it, and I hope she'll be impressed.
But that's a beautiful bottle, yeah. Abhikam, can you bring it closer to the cam? That's a beautiful bottle.
That certainly is.
That's a. So whenever I've picked up perfumes, I've been more impressed with how the bottle is than the perfume itself, because I feel that when it's inside your closet, even if it's not functional at that point, even if it's just sitting out there has to have a statement. It has to add to, your collection. I like to throw a little French in term collection, so I'd use collection instead.
Smart.
Yeah.
Very smart.
We should start using
Thanks
that.
a lot, Abhikam. Thanks a lot, Piyush. Piyush, before you leave, because Abhikam just touched upon something which has, which is very interesting and intrigued. Abhikam, is any of your family member watching this? Because my next question might just shy you.
It's okay.
Okay. So Piyush, since Abhikam is single, right? Young, single, available. So if he has to go for a date, one which is a pure date wherein, maybe, just a decent boy, is that what he wants to show? So how will his etiquette and the approach be? Versus if he has an agenda in mind for the night. So how would you suggest the etiquette should differ? And with that, we close the session.
See, honestly, what most of us try to do is fake some kind of etiquette or fake some kind of self which we are not. So I would say just listen to your heart and just do what you normally do. Yeah, just not be like if you really want to pull the chair and say that you don't pull the chair. If you don't want to pull the chair and want to be like like a male kind of, you need to throw some weight that I am here, you are here. Maybe you don't put the chair, but the lady will certainly mind it. But then it should come from the heart. I mean, the setting of that atmosphere, the setting of that place should be like you should always do something which you really want, which you do on a day-to-day basis, which is you're not pretending to be. You're just being a normal dude going for a dinner date. Maybe and you want to end it for a breakfast. Yes, why not?
Yeah, so
I
will
think
the
I'll.
venue be different? Will the food be different? Will
I would say I really would say that it really depends on the girl. I mean, initial talking will let people know what exactly she wants. She
Got
wants a very high-end seating, or she wants like a normal street
okay.
food type. But
Right.
I would say to end the session, I would say that a good date ends with dinner, and an excellent date ends with breakfast.
Yes.
Right. I think I have a getaway option. I think I'll give her the Infinium pen. It's a pen that you can keep writing all your life, and I'll just tell her that my love for her is infinite. How about that? Yeah, I really do that, and that's for her. Any potential girlfriends out there? That's for you. It's a
Why
giveaway.
would you give an infinium to a girlfriend, man? Give it to your wife, your prospective.
If that girlfriend, succeeds, she might as well be my wife. How about that?
Yeah.
Your husband writes the story, it never ends. I think he's on one of those.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, men. Thank you so much, both of you, for
Thank
taking
you.
out
Thank
time.
you.
Pleasure.
Have lovely festive holiday season.
That's true.
Your work increases.
I'm
Piyush.
having socks.
Oh yeah, but yeah.
I'm having a range of socks ready for this Christmas. Have a look.
Oh, lovely.
Love them.
Actually, this is the right way. That's Christmas. That's Thanksgiving and all that. Everything in place. All set for the festive season.
That is super cute. Are you showing something as well, Piyush?
No, I'm just getting too many calls now. So I think
Okay, all right.
time for me to.
Okay, then we'll end it here. Thank you so much, people. Thank you.
Thank
Have a
you.
lovely
Bye-bye.
time. Merry
Take
Christmas
care.
in advance.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, everybody at home.
Happy New Year. Thank you, people.
Lovely
That was
time,
Talk to
thank you.
Yaya. It was a lovely session. You asked for one, I gave you two men. See you next week with some fun. 23rd, don't forget, we're going live with the astrologer friend, Vinny. Bye-bye. Thanks.